All right, lovely ladies, lovely yoga friends. We're gonna get on the mat. We're gonna do a little detoxification today. So you can have some blocks. There'll be some balance in here, some twisting for sure, and some getting the legs warmed up and the core. So we'll go ahead and come on over to the mat, grab your blocks, place them at the top here. And just starting, you can just face forward and we'll lift the shoulders up and back and down a few times. So just lifting up, take a deep breath in, exhale, just roll them back. Starting to really feel any stuck stress or tension you may have around the shoulders or maybe through the upper back or chest area. You might even hear a little bit of clicking or popping or that kind of weird grinding sound. That could be some also additional stuck stress that you're feeling and hearing that's literally manifesting itself in your body, okay, in those little knots and areas up around your shoulder blades. So go ahead and take that last big breath in, a big lift and a roll back, and then relax the arms by the side. Let the head fall to one side gently, and then over to the other side. So as you're letting your head fall, also make sure it's as though your head and your shoulders were on a wall, your glutes, your bum would be also on the wall, and maybe your heels. So everything else has its natural curve in your low back and through the back of your neck, but your head is pressed back. Okay, relax the shoulders. Take one more to each side. And then take a little pause. I want to start with a little bit of just real gentle mobility. So softening your knees and starting to just kind of gently roll yourself down, but I'm just going down about part way, and I'm not overly rounding. Okay, so just kind of right here, relax the arms, and let's take a little spin around. So I know it looks kind of goofy, kind of funny, but it's a nice way to loosen up the body and to get your body to know where you are in space. So I want you just to come back up. Get nice and loose. Let your hips kind of move around like you're drawing almost like little figure eights around your heels with your hips. And do that a couple more times. Go ahead and take your arms all the way up and then bring them back down. Big breath. So you're really just kind of tuning into your center of gravity and where you are right now in your balance. Take that last one, bring it all the way down and back up. So we're really starting to activate the core as we come back up especially, and then just come up and relax. Take your arms very freely side to side. So the knees are staying real steady, the hips are steady, for the most part. We're really just rotating the upper body, just relaxing those arms and letting them swing freely. And then coming back to center, standing at the top of your mat, and you'll have your blocks up there just for your extra aid and lift when you need them. So you can take that all the way up there at the top. Okay, inhale, sweep the arms up. Softly bend the knees, start to hinge forward. Lifting halfway up, your hands going on your blocks or on your shins or thighs. Coming back down. Inhale, sweeping up, big breath in. Exhale, let yourself fall forward. Connecting with your breath. Inhale, lifting your chest. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lead with your chest. Come up, but without an overarch in the back. Take it one more time. Big fall forward. Inhale, lifting up. Bring it down. Take the hands down to the floor. Stepping your left foot back. Take a little pause here, drop the knee down, lift the chest up, fingertips to the floor, or again, you could always take your blocks, okay, at any given point. Work to the level that's right for you and don't feel like you need to struggle here. You don't, okay? So I want you to inhale, sweep the arms up, reach, pulling your rib cage down, shoulders back and relaxed. Bring the hands forward, stepping your right foot back to meet the left, and we'll just pause on the knees here into a knee plank. Elbows pulling in towards your ribs, slowly lowering down. Lifting up, little cobra, so tops of your feet heavy, hips heavy, and bring it down. Prop it back up to the knees, back into down dog or child's pose. So if you're wanting to go a little less intensity today, you could always stick with the child's pose here. Inhale, you're gonna come down to the knees, stepping your left foot forward. So just swing that left leg up. Help it if it needs a little assistance to get up there. Okay. Rising back up, bring the shoulders back, sweeping the arms up into low crescent. Once again, be mindful of your low back here. Pull the ribs in. We're not trying to create a big dip in the back. Bring hands down. Stepping your right foot up to meet the left, up at the top of the mat. Forward hinge here. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, start to sweep all the way up. Hands can circle right down through center to seal that round. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge with a bend in your knees. Lifting halfway. And exhale down. Stepping your right foot back. Feel free to use those blocks. Okay, anything elevated. Drop the right knee. Check front knee. Knee over heel, not past your toes. Starting to sweep up into your crescent. Inhale. And then exhale, bring it down. Left hand or left foot goes back by the right foot into your plank here. Lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, lifting up into a little cobra. Squeeze the elbows in, lowering down. Inhale. Exhale, lift up, press back. Your choice. Yogi choice there, down dog or child's pose. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Feel free if you're in down dog to shift around. And then we're going to come forward back to the knees, or just drop your left knee. Draw your right foot forward. Reaching up into crescent. Good. Bring it down. Stepping left foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, you're in forward bend. Inhale, lifting halfway. Gentle flat back. Bring it down. Inhale, sweep up. Sealing right at center again. Inhale, sweeping, reaching, get big, get tall. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lifting up halfway. Bring your feet in just a little closer. They're parallel. They're about even with your knees. Your knees are even with your hips. And we're going to set the hips back. So anchor all the way from your big toe, little toe to your heel. And be mindful the knees aren't just pushing forward. Okay, we're sending the hips back like you're hovering. And then your arms could come out into cactus, or they could go overhead, or just somewhere to the front of you. Just be mindful how your load is in your back. Okay, so find some variation of your chair pose here. Deep breath in. And this time with your exhale, melt yourself forward, then lift the hips. Let the head fall. Inhale, softly bending knees, sending left foot back. Your hands could rise up onto your blocks to get your balance here. We're going to keep the left leg up this time unless you choose to go to that knee down version. Your choice. Inhale, sweep up. Like I said, we'll add a little more power as we move, but you always get to choose what level you're working at. So you can keep this a little lower intensity. Take another breath here. Nice crescent lunge. Exhale, bring it down. Just take your left hand to the floor or a block. Right arm goes up as you rotate right sideways, up and back, rotating to your right. Take a breath. And exhale, bring that right hand down. Stepping right foot back to meet the left. Again, knees or toes here. So deciding which variation you're choosing. And then elbows in, lowering down through chaturanga, nice and slow. All the way to the mat. Flip the toes, lift the chest. Cobra or up dog if you want to go a little more power here. Bring it down. Toes under, popping up knees or toes, or you could do a little of both, knees and then toes. And press back. Take 2 rounds of breath. Try to pull your shoulder blades away from your ears, broaden the upper back. And then inhale, coming forward with your right foot. So left knee could drop first. Okay, just send that right foot forward. Get your balance here. Sweep up. Reaching. Deep breath in. And then exhale and bring it down. Stepping left foot up to meet the right. And just forward fold. Okay, halfway up lift. Fill up with the air. Exhale, lower. Inhale, just moving very slow and with intention, and bringing the hands down. So really focus on your breath here. Inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, lowering slowly down. Lifting halfway. Hands to the floor or elevated, sending right foot back. Big giant step, like you're really exaggerating that step. Separate the feet left and right, dropping the right knee or keeping it up, your choice. But press firm through your feet, push all the way up, sweep up, and reach. Hips are square, like you're trying to squeeze your inner thighs just kind of closer together. Take another breath. Lower yourself down. Back to your chaturanga. Let's go plank first. Stepping left foot back, knees or toes. Don't get in a hurry. Just go at your own pace. Lowering down. Tops of the feet on the floor. You can keep your hips down and on the floor if you want that extra power. Lift up and just float without shrugging. We'll bring it back down. Inhale, flip the toes. Exhale, press up. Pushing back. Inhale, gazing forward and stepping up with that left foot. Hold it here. Sweep the arms up. And with your exhale, coming forward into your forward bend at the top of the mat. Lifting halfway up. Drop your hips back, finding your chair again. Inhale. Exhale it out. Once again, if you take those arms overhead and you find yourself really swaying your back, first try to make the adjustment and then notice if it's pushing your knees forward and send your hips back and just take your arms out. The restriction in your upper body, everything's connected, right? So that restriction in the upper body may be causing the rest of your body to shift. So just bring the elbows down and then you can connect everything from the ground up. So we're going to balance on the right foot. Pick up that left foot and slowly send it back, just like you have before, but your hands are now lifted. Okay, elbows pull back, inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms up. We're gonna take left arm forward, right arm back. Hold it here. Tipping over, tapping the floor. If you need to drop your back knee, go ahead and do so. We're pulling back up, pull the belly in a bit, and reach. Come back up. Tipping over, inhale, tap the floor or block, bring it back up. One more, you're still breathing. Inhale, take the left hand down. Keep your hips down, try not to straighten out that front leg. Push back up, and then just spiral yourself around, and there you are in a warrior two, dropping your left heel. Sweep right arm up, big reach. Stretch out that side waist, good. Bring it back around, inhale. We're gonna pivot back into your crescent. Lower yourself down, knees or toes, find plank. So whichever variation. And then knees or toes again through chaturanga. So that little hover. And then flipping toes, cobra or up dog, your choice. Okay, those hips can be all the way on the floor, just engaging lower body. Make sure that your shoulders are back. Inhale. Come back to center and flip those toes under and push yourself back. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. You could always opt again once. You could continue to go into child's pose here instead of down dog if you ever want that break or rest. Or use down dog as your resting pose. Okay. So we'll pick up the left foot. Send it forward. Take a pause, hold it here, sweep the arms, coming all the way up. Taking right arm forward, left arm back, hold it here. Okay. Dropping right hand to floor, left arm up, pull up, find the core, engage the back leg as well, lift that quad, inhale, push through the front foot, pull up deep in your belly and lift. Good, and this can be done with right knee down. Still using all those muscles to help you balance. Come down, right hand down, left arm up. Drop that left hip. Try to keep your thigh fairly parallel to the floor. Come up. Good. Revolved warrior two is where we are. We're taking that one more time. And we might feel a little heated here. That's the intention. Come back up and hold. Spiral around. Drop your right heel and just pivot around now. Warrior two, open up, left arm rise. Bring your left hand all the way back around. Spin that back foot back up, heel up. High lunge, stepping right foot up to meet the left into your forward bend. Inhale, rising halfway. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, all the way up. We'll bring the hands down right at center this time, taking a pause. As you take your pause, getting ready for another chair, bring your feet in closer this time. So I'll just face you just so you can see better. Okay, so the feet closer, the knees can touch, or they can squeeze a block between them with the feet slightly separated. You have different options. Okay, so bring the hips back so you're still in your chair. Hips are back behind the heel line. And this is why we want those knees really close together. So we can squeeze the knees right here. Drop your hips down. And this information that you're providing to your inner thighs and your core will help keep your legs nice and steady. Okay, so bring it down. Take your left arm, cross it over to the right side. Now, if it's just the forearm, you're staying here. This is perfectly fine. Now, I want to watch for those hips swinging. The hips are going to stay nice and level. If you're coming down lower, you're going to hook the back of your arm on the outside of that thigh. And what happens is your hips are going to try to swing to the opposite side. So I want you to even out the knees, even out the hips, press into the arm, pull the opposite side back. So your right shoulder pulling back into your twisted chair. Good. Bring the hips down. One more breath. Come back to center. You're still in chair. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it down. You can rest your forearm across and left hand on hip as you lean back. There's still quite a bit of balance. You got to squeeze those knees, rotating deeply, or hook that arm to the outside and pull back. Deep breath in. Even out your knees. Swing the hips back to center. Come back to center here. Inhale. And now separating your feet just slightly. Exhale and forward bend. Woo, we're at the top of the mat. Inhale, coming halfway. Exhale, bring it down. Right, so we're stepping. Left foot back. Big giant step. Inhale, sweeping up. Holding here. Bring the hands down. Once again, we're going to twist into this. So you're going to bring your left forearm to your right thigh. Left knee can be up or down. As you place your left forearm on your thigh, right hand will go to your hip and pull yourself back. Now if you're feeling, I'm going to turn so you can see. So if you're feeling a little feisty today, you can get into that a little deeper, but just like you did with your chair, come down further and then bring that back of your arm to the thigh. Okay? So above the elbow, forearm or tricep, hold it here. Deep breath in. Lean back into it a bit. It's okay if you happen to fall. Good. And then bring it back around. We're going to sweep up into your crescent, right where you were before. And now unwind. Drop that back heel down. Up into exalted warrior. Inhale. Exhale. I want you to bring that right hand down along the inside of your right leg. Reach the left arm up. So it's very similar to where we were before. See if you can drop your hip down. There you go. Now come back up. Inhale. Exhale over. So just very much like what we did in our twist. Now we're just doing it in a variation. That's just our full warrior two instead of revolved. Okay, hold it here. Good job. Now bring yourself all the way around. Take your left hand down. Spin that back heel up. Drop your left knee. Ooh, all right. You can take your blocks if you'd like elevation, any level that's suitable for you. I want you to spin your right foot out a little bit. It's going to look opposite from you here, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to spin that right foot out, toes out, and then just let that knee rock in and out. Once again, I want you to always be mindful of what's happening with the joints here. So we're moving from the hip joint, not from the ankle. Okay, so the ankle is really straight, meaning we're not trying to flop it there. Okay, so in and out a couple more times. Inhale, exhale. If that doesn't feel quite right for you, just stay in your low dragon or lizard lunge. Okay. Come back to center, pause. We can set those blocks at the top. I'm gonna take that right leg and take it back, float it up. We're gonna spin on the left knee, so that left foot is gonna spin behind you as you reach into a side plank here. Now bringing your right elbow and your right knee closer together, inhale, and exhale. Okay. Just bring it up, try to give it a little tap. If you need to take that right foot to the floor, you can always bring it down. Let's take one more. And then back to center, and we'll take a pause, bringing hand to the floor. Spin yourself back around, hold it here, right leg up, inhale, exhale, and round it out, knee to nose. Inhale, good, exhale. And two more, bring it in, hollow it out. One more. And take it back, very good. So dropping to knees or toes again, finding plank, moving through transition, or you could always skip here. So we're going down, chaturanga, lifting up, cobra or up dog. Take it back down, inhale, exhale, pop it back up. And this whole time you could have just been resting in down dog or child's pose. Always up to you. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Take your rest as needed. Okay, getting ready to send that left foot forward. Pick it up. Send it all the way up to the top. Sweeping back up. Inhale. Right knee can go down if you're feeling a little wobbly. Take that right knee to the floor. It's fine. Okay, come forward and just drop your right forearm across your left thigh. Left hand lands on the hip. And we push into it and lift up. And then pull back on that left side waist. If you're feeling like you could go a little further here, drop down, put the upper part of your arm on the back of the leg, push into it, lift up, and pull back. Okay, so whichever variation is more accessible to you that you feel really good about today. And I want you to really lift your quadricep if the knee is up. Knee might be down. Okay, holding here, deep breath. Exhale it out. One more time. Nice, slow, long exhale. Come back around. Sweep the arms up. We're going to continue and spin that right heel down, left arm forward. Now, reaching up to exalted warrior. Bring the left hand along the inside of the leg. You don't have to quite touch the floor, and you could use a block. I want you to bring your left hip down so it's not so far up. Now, push through the foot, lift through the core, and lift. Come back down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's try two more. Check out that front knee. It's moving toward the pinky toe still just a bit. Inhale. And exhale. Let's take the last one. Inhale. Now take a little pause here. We're going to come all the way around. Spin yourself to the floor. Drop the back knee. And taking that left leg, toes out just a little bit, and just like you're just flapping a little butterfly wing with your left leg. Find your breath. We'll take two more rounds of breath, two more little flaps. Getting ready for side plank on this side. So a little star plank. Anchoring your right hand, and then picking up your right foot just a little bit as you take your left leg back. And then spin, side plank. So we want to try not to be way back here, but rather more like an actual diagonal into side plank. Arm goes up, inhale, reach, and then exhale. Try to meet those two together. Exhale. Good. 4 more with your breath. Exhale it out. And 3, 2, nice and controlled, doing great. 1, we're spinning it back to center. Keeping your left leg up, left hand goes down. Spin it back to center. Hold it here. You can always adjust your knees, your hands, whatever you need to do. Little 3-leg table, and then knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale, bring it in. 3 more right there with your breath. Really draw ribs up and in, hollow out when you bring the knee up. And 2. Last one. And take that leg back. Find your plank, whether it's knees or toes. Once again, you can skip the whole transition if you're feeling like you need a rest. Otherwise, we're lowering down, lifting up, cobra or up dog. Inhale. Exhale. Lift it back up. Press it back into down dog. And then just bring your heels close together. Now drop your knees, then your big toes can flip together and rest. Hang out there. Take about 3 more rounds of breath. And then come back up. When you are done with those rounds of breath, you could grab a blanket if you have it, or just something that cushions your tailbone if you feel like you need it, okay? Because we'll balance a little bit here. So if you like to have that cushion, go ahead and take a moment, grab it here. All right, so it's really important that we're not suffering through our movements. The movements are challenging enough. We don't need to suffer because of tailbone pain. All right, so find the right variation for you. Let's take a block if you have that, or something like a rolled up towel, okay, between the inner thighs. If you happen to have a second object that you can hold, let's grab that. So it could be a ball, a block, or something light. So I'm going to hold that here. We're going to start by squeezing the thighs together or into your object. So just squeeze there really, really firm. Lift the shoulders back. Bring your head back so ears are in line with your shoulders. So you could sit a little more straight just to get set. Your feet are out in front, about the same distance as your knees. And then we'll just start to unhinge from the hip. So I'm not rounding the back. Let's just start a little unhinged. So let's lift up really tall first. You can take your item in front of you and just squeeze together and squeeze both items. So squeeze the thighs, squeeze the hands, come back up. Now when you're coming back, I want you to be really mindful here. Be on the lookout for that chin coming forward and your shoulders pushing back. Okay? Instead, just to unhinge from your hip. So come back, let your core grip, not your hip flexors. And come back up. Inhale, engage. Press into the inner thighs. Unhinge your hips. Core is active. Come back up. And let's try it 3 more. Inhale, unhinge the hips. So really, really put your mind right there, right into the crease of your hips. Let your mind know that you don't need to use those muscles right now. Yeah, they're gonna assist. But what I really am wanting you to focus on is how the core catches you and brings you back up. Okay? So let's try that 2 more times. We rely on our hip flexors so much, and they get so shortened throughout the day from sitting. And then we ask them to work all the time when the core should be doing most of the work. Okay? Stabilizing and holding us. So let's hold right here. All right, so squeeze there. Shoulders relax, not shove back down, but just relax them. All right, really dig deep into this deep part of your belly. Exhale it out. Now hold the engagement as you were breathing out. Hold that engagement, but still breathe. Pick up just the left foot. Still squeeze that block. There you go. Put it back down. Inhale. You're still holding the engagement, but you're breathing. Inhale, right foot up. Squeeze the block between the thighs. Bring it down. Okay, 1 more time each side. Lift, squeeze, and bring it down. 1 more. Up, and bring it down. Come forward. Give yourself a little moment of break. Put those feet together. Let the knees drop out and round yourself forward. Walk over to the left and reach out through the right arm. Walk over your right knee. Reach out with the left hand. And then we'll come back to center. Up. We're going to take that block again. Inner thighs. Take the other item if you've got it. Okay, you can always pretend if you don't. But about anything would work here that's light. And we're holding. I want you to engage, sit up nice and tall. First, just let yourself come up that you're sitting tall. You should be able to sit up nice and tall here. And if not, there's already some disconnect and some stress in the body that's holding you back. Maybe it's the glutes that are too tight, right? Because our hamstrings are not the issue really here. Our knees are bent. So it could be it could be your glutes. Maybe you're clenching your glutes. So relax, shake around a little. Okay, make sure those glutes are soft, relax. They don't need to engage here. We're lifting up tall. We're going to squeeze. So it's inner thigh, root core. Try to press down through your feet for a moment if you can, depending on the flexibility of your ankle. If you're not pushing down through your feet, if that flexibility doesn't allow for that, just lift onto your heels, but still push up through your toes. Okay? So whichever variation works. All right, here we go. We're going to take a deep breath, and on the exhale, I want you to cinch your girdle into the center. Exhale it out. All the breath goes out. Keep the action, but breathe within. Breathe deep. Breathe inside. And then exhale, start to rotate your shoulders over to the left. Sit up tall. Inhale. There's a little bit of a lean back. Okay. Exhale, rotate to the right. Squeeze the blocks. And back to center. Inhale. So we're just in variation of boat pose and then rotating with it. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale. Back to center. Now take a little pause. If you need a break, give yourself that break. Relax for a second. Come back. Okay. Lift tall. Now when I say lift tall, be mindful there. Check out those ribs. So oftentimes we go, woo, we're lifting tall. I want you to pull the ribs back down and think of crown of the head lifting up and the shoulders relax. Squeeze deep core. Inhale. Start to lean back a little more, and see if you can float those feet up. Finding your boat, reach your arms. Squeeze. If this is not going to be available, that's okay. Just take a foot down or both feet. Good. Bring your knees in closer to your chest. Take them a little bit away. Woo. Balancing and shivering. That's okay. Bring it up. Exhale. 2 more. Feet can be planted. Inhale up. Take them away. 1 more. Inhale up. This is it. Exhale. Now all the way down. Feet to the floor and roll back. Very good. Set the block that you have or whatever you're holding in your hands off to the side. We're going to keep the other item here as you just bring your heels in, and we'll just take a little lift. If you've got the blanket, move it off to the side, or a slight little pillow under your head if your head tends to tip back. So if your shoulders are a little rounded or there's restriction, you might notice your head tipping back. So I want it to be pretty level, but not too lifted. All right, so arms by your side, feet pull in. They're the same distance as your knees, and knees are determined by what you're squeezing. Inhale. Exhale. Start to lift the hips. Push into the heels and feel the opening from the front of the body. Lower it back down. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping that connection between ribs and hips. Breathe at the top. And exhale down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, lift. 1 more breath at the top. And lower back down. Very nice. Now, just lifting your feet off the floor and float your knees right over the hips. Start to scoop them in, maybe a little bit more. You can adjust what you're squeezing here. All right, arms are out just from your shoulders and rotate, hovering to the left. Take a breath in. Exhale and bring it back to center. Okay, rotating to the right. Inhale. Take that exhale. Fill up with the inhale. Squeeze the knees. Exhale. Back to center. Let's do that 1 more time each side. Exhale as you pause. Inhale. Exhale back to center. 1 more time. Inhale. Just continue. Exhale. Over. Deep breath. Exhale to center. And release. Awesome work. Bring the feet down. Take that block, set it off to the side. Feet wider than your mat. So feel the edges of your mat, bind them with your toes, and then walk right off to the edge. Okay, so feet are actually not on your mat. And then we'll just do little windshield wipers in. So I want you to rotate one knee at a time into center. The other knee just stays pretty steady. Okay, so we're just trying to increase that internal rotation by dropping the knee in toward the center line. And then the other. Let's do it one more time each side. Last one. And rest here. Good. Bring the feet in. Right knee goes to chest. Hold it. You can hold on above, on the shin, or below behind the leg, whichever feels better for you, that you can relax your shoulders. And if you have any knee issues, you'll probably want to hold on behind just so you don't overcompress. Take that left leg, reach it all the way down the mat. Push out through both heels. Fill up. Exhale out. Relax the shoulders. Take another breath. Now we're not going to twist all the way over. I just want you to take the hands away from the knee that you're holding for a moment. Take your left hand across, like you're just holding on to the outside of that leg a little. Right arm is resting. It's going to look like we would if we were about to twist, okay? But it's just a micro twist. So I really just want you to bring your right knee slightly across the midline and towards your left side, but you're imagining that you were going to try to turn your body to the right. Right, so I want you to really engage the right side of your body down, and you're just pulling the left or the right knee slightly across the midline. It might be about even with your left hip point. Just pulling it across. Take another breath. And with your exhale, now continue, and you can rotate the rest of the way over onto the outside of the left hip. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Every exhale may lead you into a little bit deeper rotation. Every inhale, you may find that you kind of lift or swell with the breath. This is natural. Come back to center. Go ahead and switch sides so you can place your right foot on the floor for a moment and reposition your hips. Slide right leg out as the left knee pulls in. And give it a hug. Push out through the feet. Relax the shoulders, the face, especially. Okay, so let the left arm rest. Your right hand moves to the outside like you were going to pull it all the way over, but you're just going to do a very gentle knee crossing the center line. Left side of your body stays really heavy, so you're not twisting really here. You're really pushing down through that left side waist, like you're going to turn your body to the left as your knee pulls to the right. Deep breath in. Exhale. One more here. And then with your next breath, continue with your exhale and twist onto the right side. So now your body is moving, but you're still keeping left side real heavy on your shoulder and right around the rib cage. So we're really rotating right from that mid waist. Take that last breath. Let's come back to center. Hug both knees in. Give yourself a little spin side to side. Again, holding the top or underneath the legs. As you move yourself over to one side, continue rocking all the way over. Let's just come to seated, and we'll have a little seated stillness for a moment. Unless you like to lie down, that's okay. You can do that if it feels better for you. You got to do what's right for you. All right, so I'm going to take that blanket and just lift up for a moment to sit. Find the right seated position for you, blanket or bolster, block, whatever it is. Relax the shoulders, close the eyes. Just let the palms face up. Taking a breath in as though you were taking a breath in right through the palms. Exhale it out. Start to do a little mental scan for yourself here. Notice the energy that you've created through your body. Energy that you moved all the way up from your root, whether that be all the way down through your feet, from your tail, from the root of your body. And then you move to that energy all the way up the spine, to the deep core, through your throat, your heart, your throat, and even into the space between the eyes and out the crown of your head. So I want you to imagine that energy right now flowing from your tail to your navel, to the center, right below your sternum, up through the heart, to your throat, space between your eyes, up to the crown of your head, and it shoots out like a rocket, and then it just curves around and divides in half and moves back around either side of you like big wings. And it meets again, back down at the tail. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath, just imagining this energy as it moves up the spine, through each point, comes out through the crown of the head, wraps around you like wings, and just continues to flow. It's through this energy, it's like your own little personal force field. Tend to that energy today. Be aware that you are creating your own little force field, but it's not just to keep others out. It's to exude out into the universe. So you might even think about that top of the crown of the head, and without the energy just bending back around, there's something that's floating up to the sky, and it's putting a signal out there. What signal do you want to put out, and then what signal do you want to receive today? Just bring the arms up and around. Gather up through that energy field, and then bring it down to the center of the chest, right at the heart. Bowing to your own energy, your own wisdom that you brought with you today and that you bring into the world. Thanks for being here and letting me share with you. Namaste.